Capricorn, my loves, how are we? I hope you are well. It's wonderful to be here with you once again after a brief hiatus. These hiatuses really, like, I always think they're going to just be like a week or two, then they end up being much longer. But I'm so happy to be here with you to share another reading. It's a little bit late. It's very late. But I want to share a reading with you now, and I also want to do one for you for May as well. I don't know how I'm going to squeeze all of this in. Apologies about the noise. This is my neighbour. She has a new dog, so she's just sort of easing her way into that. Which is actually quite nice for me as well. I've never had a pet. It's kind of nice to have the dog next door, you know. Anyway, team, you know, let me just do like a little mini reading for you. Let's see what's going on in your energy at this particular time. So Capricorn, please. What do I have for Capricorn? Remember, just take whatever resonates, whatever doesn't. Let it go in the flow. I'm not going to say, oh, okay, they wanted to turn. Give me one more shuffle here. All right. One more card, please. Cappies. Cappies. All right, Capricorn. Interesting. You know, I asked for one card and two more fell out. They sort of fell together, so I'll take. Okay, so team, at this particular time, this is a very interesting time for you. It's a time of pivots. It's a time of movement. It's a time of manifestation. But what is interesting is that the cards that I have are indicating that there's it's almost like you're in the middle here, and then everything around you either seems slow or it seems fast. This will be different for everybody. This is a very interesting thing. I had this conversation with a subscriber, actually. She messaged me. I'm not going to say her name for you know, privacy reasons. Yes, she messaged me, and it's very interesting if this has come up in this particular reading. So listen, right, there's somebody here who's feeling like they're ready for things to happen, you know, they're ready for things to take place. There's a lot of ambition. There's a lot of ambition here. But it's almost like the universe is saying to you that you need to take a little bit of time out to incubate. Is one of my favorite words right now. To incubate, to feel into your experiences. And while you're taking that time to feel into your experiences, this is where the motivation is coming from. You know, I mean, it's coming from the movement of the experiences. There's a lot of orange in these cards. Let me show you. A lot of orange in these cards. Are you seeing this? A lot of orange. A lot of orange. You know, the orange, I mean, it correlates to one of the chakras. I believe it's the solar plexus. No, it's not the solar plexus. This is the sexual organs. So some of you may be working, maybe doing some work around increasing, no, let me keep it as PC as possible here, okay? You know, some of you may be doing some work around increasing sexual desire, you know. So I feel with Capricorn, you obviously had Pluto transiting in your chart for a really, really, really long time. So it could be a situation of where you were restricted from interactions with others, or you restricted yourself from interaction with others. It's really interesting with the sexual sort of energy, because the sexual energy is what the driving force is, at least for a lot of us. If any of you know about human design, you know, if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, the sexual organs become really important in terms of the drive and the energy and the motivation to do things. It becomes really part and parcel of who we are. We're very sexual beings, generators and manifesting generators. So looking at this, there could be a little bit of dullness around that area. So somebody may need to conjure up some working efforts here, nurture that energy a little bit more. Does that make sense to some of you? Does that make sense? I feel at this point some of you have insomnia. Some of you have insomnia at this point in time. I wonder why. Is it because things are slowing down and you're a little bit like, well, I expected now for things to be in a different stage of life. I expected to be in a different stage of life, you know, and you're not actually there yet. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. With the way how the earth and the world is changing at this particular time, things are going to feel slow for some of you. Things are going to feel really, really, really slow. Okay, but this is not bringing you a lot of sort of joy and happiness. There's a call here for you to lean a little bit deeper into joy and happiness. Lean into the sense of joy, the things that bring you joy. This is the motivating factor. You need to lean into the things that give you joy. So some of you are going through this pivot, you know. This becomes important in your journey, this pivot, knowing that the pivot is needed, knowing that the pivot is part of the growth, you know. For some of you, this is going to be, this is going to be in a very traditional form, you know. For some of you, this is going to be in traditional form. For others of you, not so much. Some of you maybe, there's something formal here, you know. There's something formal here. Could be a relationship, marriage, education, all these cards. Okay. Could be a relationship, something that didn't really bring like a lot of happiness. People are too busy thinking about the things that they did not get out of that, instead of thinking about the things that they learned out of it. Instead of thinking about the things that they learned out of it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So something here has ended. But it's almost like it's ended in order to be rebuilt in a way that brings a little bit more stability. Does that make sense? This is something to do with stability. This is something to do with stability. If it's to do with a person, right, the other energy is going to become stable in your life. They want to become stable in your life. This is not going to be that in and out Sag energy anymore. You know, the Knight of Wands here is in reverse. It feels like it's energy that wants to become a little bit more stable. This is more stable, more traditional. So if that is a relationship, this is what is going to be happening. Sorry, you know what? I didn't even give you your cards in the first place. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Sun in reverse, and the Nine of Swords. You know, that's not going to mean a whole lot to some of you, okay? But to some of you who read, it may mean something to you. Give me one on the Moon. Yeah, okay. All right. You know, there may have been a relationship here. But it's almost like the strength of the relationship, I feel like it was mostly in your hands. the other individual wasn't ready for the thing that you have to actually give. The other energy was not ready for it. And because the other energy was not ready for it, you have decided to move on. This could just be for like one person, man. That doesn't even feel like it's part of this reading. It feels like it's just part. It's just like a side note. Okay, side note there. Okay. Give me something here on the sun reversed, please. The sun reversed, give me something there. Because when the sun is reversed, doesn't mean that the energy isn't actually here. You know, all it means is that the energy is here, but it's not in the highest of frequencies. Give me one more shuffle there. Let's see. The sun in reverse. Just give me one more shuffle. Let's see. What have we got? Okay, that fell. Okay. Two more. So moving out of low vibe energy here. There's somebody who's desperate to move out of low vibe energy. You've made a decision to do so. And it's like where you may have taken some time out to assess the situation as a lone ranger, okay? And now you're wanting to almost flip the script, right? You're no longer going back and forth on something. It's almost like you've made this decision and you're no longer going to stay in a position that doesn't bring you that sense of joy. And we spoke about that in the beginning. It's interesting because some of you are wanting to rejoin society again, right? And some of you, right? So although you're feeling strong and bold and really attractive at this particular time, there's this other side that doesn't, you know, really want you to do that yet. There's still that call to incubate, you know, that incubation. Right, so it's still a part of your reality. New opportunities, could be with a job, could be, we'll take it. Death card again. So it's a really interesting thing. This is the ending of cycles. This is death and rebirth. Remember when I said the whole thing of pivoting? There's a pivot here for somebody, a pivot. Moving from, it's almost like there could be an individual here who may be holding on to something from the past. This is memories, this is childhood memories sometimes, you know, or could just be a relationship that brought a lot of joy. It could have been a sexual relationship, which is also interesting in itself, considering the fact that we spoke about the sexual organs needing a retune, because this is going on for you here. This is definitely a part of this path. Somebody may be working with sex energies. Maybe. Somebody here may be working with sex energies a little bit as part of what their growth is. That's interesting. Healing. Maybe someone here is healing sexual trauma. This is now what's coming through. Is there anything else on that? Just give me 3 cards, please, Spirit. Somebody here may be healing sexual trauma. Maybe 1 or 2 of you. Yeah, and just trying to move out of that past frequency. Yeah, trying to move out of this sexual trauma. Something from the past. Could be a childhood thing. Spirit, don't give me this. This is for YouTube, man. Do you mean it's not a personal reading? Yeah. Okay, you know, I'm going to leave that there. Mainly because I think I'm picking up on some frequencies here. There's not actually for everybody. This is how my readings work. Unfortunately, team, sometimes I want to make them general. Well, I always want to make them general so somebody gets something out of it. But I can't help how the information comes through. It just is what it is, you know. But the message there, you know, is for this individual to work on this. Yeah, just give me 1 more card. Make it a good one. Yeah, and to move out of the overthinking, you know, the overthinking, the procrastination, the lowest frequency of toxicity, to move out of that, because you are here in your own reading. The devil is here, but it's in reverse. So there's someone here who's not really feeling that much in their power. I feel like there's two stories here, but you know, I have to leave that there because this is getting too deep. Lately, I'm noticing, right, I'm picking up, you know, on really things like this. This is the other reason why, you know, I had to take a break. I take a break from here. I tried to read for you a few times and I was getting a lot of these kind of things were coming up and I was just like, this is for YouTube. Spirit, just give me something Jen. You know, Jen. All right. You know what? I'm going to use another deck. I was going to stop it here, but I will not because I haven't seen you for the time. Okay. So for the Capricorns who are going through this pivot, maybe healing sexual trauma or using sex magic in their work, that could be another thing that's going on here, team. You know what I mean? It could be something like that that's occurring. How do they move forward? Just give me 3 cards, please. You know, there's an ending of one cycle. There's an ending of one cycle, right? This cycle is taking some time to move forwards, mainly because as you're ending a cycle, there's also a period of rest. Okay, so some of you may be resting. Okay, I'll take those 2 because they fell. Ooh. Okay. Give me one more. All right. See. So this pivot, you know, remember there were a few stories here. There could have been a love story here. I have Page of Swords, the Lovers. I love that Lovers card. You see how beautiful that is? And the 4 of Cups. Now you have 2 4s. You have 2 4s on deck. You know, the 4s is about foundational work, you know, stability, the home and family, something that keeps you sort of safe and fortified in who you are. This is the stability. So somebody here is going through some turbulent times, could be going through some turbulent times in terms of stability at this particular point in time. You know, remember I didn't mention a relationship here. I mentioned a relationship. So there could be messages coming through, very logical messages. You know, if there was a breakup here, if there was a relationship that ended, okay, then here there are messages that are coming through. There is information, messages via text message, phone, but these are messages that are going to be, I actually think this person is going to talk. You know, this person is going to speak. I feel like it's going to be a conversation that's going to happen. The information could be, no. All right, I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. But with the Lovers, this could be a decision, you know, decision between 2 things, decision between 2 situations, 2 circumstances, could be a relationship, could be 2 jobs as well. Give me something on that. Right, but with these cards, there's a lot of thinking, This is a lot of mental pressure. Lovers, give me something there. 1 or 2 cards. Oh, did you see the flight? Okay, so Capricorn, this conversation is going to bring a sense of healing, you know, faith, right? This is about something from the past. This is something that's been lingering in your consciousness for quite some time. There's something from the past, childhood memories, a relationship from the past, a relationship that brought a lot of joy at one particular point in time. That joy keeps coming back for some particular reason. You know, there's an offer. Give me 1 on the offer. Give me 1 on the 4 of Cups. Just 1. 1 on the 4 of Cups, please. 3 times. I can't make that up. Okay, so the offer the procrastination is still there. So this offer may actually bring an end to a cycle that feels like it's been going on forever. A lot of back and forth, a lot of non-decision making, a lot of just being in flux. This is going to bring an end to that, okay? So although there may be a lot of love in between of these two people, it's almost like it has to sort of separate for a while. It needs to part. So this could actually be in love, or this could actually be this career that I've been talking about. Because I feel like this is all intertwined somehow. This is all intertwined. But because the stories are flying through my head like so many things are coming in, that it's difficult for me to pinpoint this. I feel like this is 2 readings in one. Well, actually it was 3 readings in one, you know, because I had the other sexual thing. Now I have this relationship, you know, then there's a pivot in someone's career here. This has just really become a conglomerate of incidents. If somebody is healing a relationship, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. This is going to take some time. This is going to take some time. This is going to take a lot of conversation. Trust has to be rebuilt. There is someone here who's very irresponsible. That has to be rebuilt. Give me one more with that. Yeah, that has to be rebuilt. It's possible, but it's not just going to be an easy thing. You know, I have the Magician on the side. Somebody really wants this to happen. Somebody's not sure they want this to happen. You know, this is how it is. The energies that we're working with are quite complicated here. This is quite a layered reading, team. This is quite a layered reading. So yeah, Capricorn. God, when I take this amount of time off, this is what happens, isn't it? It comes back all extra complicated. But yeah, there's a situation here that's going to take some time to heal. I feel like it has to break up first before it can become what it can be. Or there's a pivot out of this relationship. You know, there's a pivot into this relationship. There's a long journey moving forwards to heal oneself, to heal, to be open about the healing as well. Don't do it in private and sit on all of your tears. You need to be more open. Give me one more on that. This is interesting. This is not in the cards. This is just coming up. You need to be open. Maybe this is part of what your sharing is. This is part of what your sharing is. Yeah. Why? Why the 7 of Cups? Why? Are you seeing how your cards are flying, people? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because that brings up choices. It brings up choices for you. It opens up this Pandora's box, this this new pathway, almost in like a way that produces opportunities, that brings a sense of abundance. You know, it brings a sense of abundance, receptivity. And what is interesting is that it feels like the card that I had in the beginning. Do you remember this? This rest card here, the 4 of Swords. You know, remember when I said that some of you, life is happening really slowly for you, you know, and for others it's going quite quickly. You know, for the people who it's going quite slowly for, there's Empress vibes that's available there. There's Empress vibes. Remember with the Empress, this is a feminine energy. The feminine energy that's very much just sitting back and allowing for things to come in. So it's almost like she's planted all the seeds already. She's done all of the work. She's nurturing. She's fertile with ideas. Somebody here could also be pregnant. This is why they need to work on this situation. This just comes in, okay? So this is part of that. You know, there's a lot of waiting, this sitting and incubating. This is still here. You know, 3 of Wands. This is not an action card, right? This is not an action card. The Knight of Pentacles. These cards, you know, are moving quite slowly. So there's some slow movement to the next phase while you start to gain clarity. You're seeing this. The Ace of Swords is on the side because you're not sure exactly which way to go yet. This conversation is going to open up something for someone here. It's going to open up something for someone because you're going to realize maybe you can do much better than what you're putting up with. Does that make sense for somebody here? You know, you're going to realize that. So although there's this energy of the Queen of Wands, right, it's a very interesting thing. You know, there's a juxtaposition here. You know, the juxtaposition of somebody who's feeling really sort of ready to go out there and meet the world. But here the universe is telling you you're not so ready yet. Right? It's almost like, even if you have all of these ideas, allow these ideas to incubate. What's with the hand? What's with the hand? All right. Okay. Okay, so what I'm getting here is somebody maybe who's playing maybe the Rubik's Cube. You know, I don't know, some of you are too young. You know, I'm not sure if some of you are too young to remember what a Rubik's Cube was. But when I was little, you know, I always wanted a Rubik's Cube. You know, it was a cube that had all these colors on either side. You'd mix it up and try to put the pieces of the puzzle back together. And in the end, the Rubik's Cube will come up with the red, yellow, green, blue, and whatever else other color was there. All the primary colors were there, mind you. And so I feel like there's someone here who's trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and that is going to take time, team. That is going to take time. This is the reason why there's this incubation period. This is the reason why. There has to be a conversation with somebody, you know, there has to be a dialogue with someone. This is interesting because I'm not really seeing the three of Pentacles didn't really turn up. I didn't really see it. Give me something here. Give me one more card. Oh God, I don't want that many. Yeah, Three of Pentacles is not turning up for you, right? Which is showing me that this is just going to be a conversation maybe with one person. It's not somebody you're going to work with, but it's somebody who you're going to have a conversation with. You know, there's a conversation just to clear up something. Why did you give me that card? That's interesting, because there you are again. You know, there's the... Oh, okay, team. You know, sometimes when these things happen, I don't know why they do, but there you go. You know, this was the one that was underneath, the Queen of Wands again. You know, this is the second time you've had this. And then the moon. After these fell, then the moon appeared, showing me that there are things that are still hidden, things that are not really available right now. You know, which means we do have to slow down. That slowing down is really interesting. Okay, but what we do have here is the Three of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Seven of Pentacles. You know, so this is a situation maybe where there will be a reunion. You know, so this conversation will actually take place. The hidden information will become really apparent to you. I feel like you and this person, you're just on different pages at this particular point in time. You're just on different pages at this particular point in time. But it's like one of you really knows this already. You know, the High Priestess vibes is really interesting because this is somebody who's able to look beneath the veil in order to understand the changes that they're going through, and understanding that if they want to continue with this particular situation that they're in, that they have to understand there's going to be perseverance that's involved. They're going to have to persevere. It may not look like anything is happening at this particular point. Remember that stillness that I spoke about? That stillness, that pause. There's this pause. You know, there's this pause. There's not a lot of movement right now. It's interesting. Also, the Four of Pentacles on the side. There's not this real movement. The Three of Wands. A lot of these really stillness cards. These stillness, waiting, pondering, festering. There's a lot of this that's going on. But this is the incubation. This is the incubation that I spoke about. I've also got the King of Pentacles here. You know, but also on the side. no movement. You know, King of Pentacles is already slow. You know, this is already slow moving, you know, but it's somebody who is diligently taking their time to work out patterns, right? To have a look what is working, what is not working. This is not somebody who's in a rush. This is somebody who's getting the details to make sure that they're doing the right things. So this whole reading, you know, it seems to be really centered around that. Somebody who's taking their time, you know, pausing, stepping back. I'm surprised I didn't get the hangman here. You know, this didn't appear, but there are a lot of other cards that can indicate that, and we've seen this in the reading. Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back to do a reading for May, you know, but I'm going to make it snappy, man. I'm not just going to say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm actually really going to do it because I've changed my schedule around a lot. You know, that's what I said to you. I've been doing all of these things. I have a podcast. I'm going to link it in the box below. Maybe some of you can listen in on what I'm talking about there. Some of you may not like it. It doesn't matter. Some of you may. Right? This is how life is. I've accepted it like that. Yes, that's a very interesting reading. I wonder who that's for. All right, my loves. I shall leave it there. And I'll be back with another reading for May. You know, I want to make it nice for you. Let's come back to May. Let's see what happens there. Let's see what energies one picks up. But till that point, team, ciao for now. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you again soon. Ciao, my loves.